But if we want to take a slightly different approach and say, is there a science to this? Can we anticipate what cards might become popular? Well, we saw a lot of people come into the hobby this year, a lot. And I can introspect on the topic of evolving in the hobby because I came back in the summer of 2016. And I know how my evolution process worked and how I sort of graduated along the way to wanting the more rare and the more iconic and the more highly desired cards. And I think that a lot of people who came back in 2020 maybe weren't quite like me. I came in with Jordans, but a lot of people came in with modern players. But there's a comfort in commodity cards. They sell every day. You can liquidate them very quickly, whether it's the 1986 Fleer Jordan Rookie or the 2018 Luka Prism Base PSA 10. These cards sell. If you are ever desperate to sell it, you can throw it up on eBay for $100 less than comps, and it will sell like that. So there's a comfort in being able to wheel and deal with those cards. Like you said, they were spiking, and it's just not hard to know what those cards are worth. They're just it's easy. But as people get more immersed in the hobby, as they get more experience in the hobby, suddenly as your eBay saved searches list increases and you start getting more experience, suddenly you don't want a card that you can go on eBay and there's 500 copies of it on eBay. That just stops appealing to you as much. There is something, the word Joe used was natural. There is something natural about getting to a point where I want a card that my buddy who just got into the hobby cannot go on eBay and buy it whenever he wants to buy it. I want a card that is tough to get and that is cool and that I can show off and that, hey, guess what? Nobody else has this card or very few other people have this card, or the collectors that I look up to are the only other people who have this card. So you see like that evolution taking place, and it speaks to an earlier question that we talked about, which is like, are $2 cards or are $300 cards moving more and in which direction? But what you are seeing is you're seeing more rare parallels, especially in the super duper high end. But you're seeing more rare parallels pick up steam and do quite well. And as a general observation, I think it's because a lot of the new people who came into the hobby are now going through the same evolution that many of us have gone through, which was getting more and more interested in the more rare cards.
100%, man. We come into the hobby and we go to what we see a lot of because it's repetition and it becomes familiar to you and you aren't as intimidated by it. But once you kind of get past that first phase of being a collector, I think you start to, and you come in maybe as an investor, but you have the collector tendencies. Maybe you do have the gene, and now you start to look for things that are more interesting, rarer, and you do just like Joe said, you end up, it's almost like you acquire a taste for it and you want to expand your collection and you want to expand the scope of your collection into cards that are not just those ones that you can find on eBay all the time.